Welcome to Strong's Opinions here on Sports Unfolded, and I'll tell you what, I have a lot of strong opinions today, as a lot of breaking news has come in the past few hours. Aaron Rodgers signs a 4-year, $200 million highest paid ever player in NFL history contract, and Russell Wilson traded to the Denver Broncos. I'll tell you what, our team member Eli Murphy predicted he's 2 for 2 so far. He's 2 for 2 on his quarterback predictions for the offseason. He predicted Russell Wilson would go to Seattle, and he predicted a mega extension for Aaron Rodgers. So let's talk about it. First thing I want to talk about is the AFC West. I mean, the quarterbacks in the AFC West are absurd. Mahomes, Wilson, Herbert, and Carr. Those are arguably 4 top 10 quarterbacks in the same division of football. That is unheard of. That is. So the focus of this trade is really going to be Denver and what this means for Denver, what this means for Russell Wilson. Is Denver in a position to succeed now? Are they in a position that they can go on a Super Bowl run? And I'm going to get to Denver in a second. I will get to Denver in a minute, but I want to talk about what this means for Seattle. And a lot of people are going to bash Seattle for this because Russell Wilson has been the most winning quarterback in their franchise history. When it comes to percentiles, one of the most winning quarterbacks in NFL history. Winning percentage of games. But I think this was actually a smart move for Seattle. When I heard this, I liked it. I thought they should have traded him. I didn't think they were going to trade him, but I thought it would be the wise thing to do. But here we are in early March before free agency even starts and Russell Wilson's gone. So why I think this is a smart move for Seattle. Their offense has only gotten worse over the past few years. A lot of inside sources in the NFL have reported that the offense has gotten outdated. No matter who their play caller is, they're just outdated. They're too predictable as the season goes on, year in and year out. And that's just how it's been, and it is time for a rebuild. They have no first-round draft pick next year because they traded away 2 first-round picks, a safety, and a third-round pick for another safety. You don't do that in the league. You don't do that in the National Football League. They have a bad offensive line, and they have, really since Russell Wilson's been here, most sacked quarterback since entering the league. And then their defense. Their defense is too banged up, it's too old, it's not reliable, and it's a bottom-tier defense in the National Football League. The Seahawks accepted their fate. It's time for a rebuild. It's just that simple. This is a smart trade for Seattle. Quite simply, this may mean Pete Carroll gets fired in a few years. He's 70 years old, and if Seattle wants to go to a complete rebuild, they might have to get Pete Carroll out of there. That's just the truth in the matter of it. So Russell Wilson is gone. And I think, more or less what this is for Seattle is they're accepting that it's time for a rebuild. I know I just said that. But, some teams like my Cowboys, sometimes they don't accept when it's time to move on from certain players. And, this year, that could be happening with Amari Cooper and DeMarcus Lawrence. But I don't want to talk about the Cowboys right now. It's rough right now in Dallas, at least. It has been for the past 25 years. But there's some teams that just don't know when to move off, when to pull the trigger on certain players, and they just can't accept them when they're in a rebuild. Seattle here is saying, hey, we've had a good 9-year run with Wilson, but it's time to move off. All right, let's talk about Denver now. What this means for Denver, I also think this is a very good move for Denver. So it came out that they are only giving away Drew Lock, who wasn't even their starting quarterback, Noah Fant. That could be a blow. Look for them to find a tight end in free agency possibly. Won't have availability at Dalton Schultz or Mike Gesicki now as they're both franchise tagged. But there's still some good options out there. Evan Ingram, very similar play style to Noah Fant. Maybe they could draft somebody at the tight end position. But they've always, and then it's 2 first-rounders and 2 seconds and a 5th, and then they're giving up. And then they're giving up, or that's what they're giving up. Denver, they're receiving Russell Wilson and a 5th-round draft pick. So they sent away a lot. But I think this is a very, very smart move for Denver. Even though they gave up essentially everything they had to give up, they got their guy. They've been stuck in a mediocre quarterback room. They've had a mediocre quarterback room for the past 7 years, and that's the reason that they haven't had a single playoff appearance since Peyton Manning left. It's that simple. They've been stuck with, these kids that they drafted. They ended up to be mediocre. They try to stick with them for a few years, and then they go with Case Keenum and Teddy Bridgewater and all these B or B- quarterbacks, but they're not going to get the job done. Even though Denver had one of the best defenses last year and the year before, they were making the playoffs with a mediocre quarterback. It's just not happening. And so I think this was a very, very bold move, but a move that Denver needed to make, as they were very, very desperate and have been for a quarterback for essentially 7 years since Peyton Manning left. So I really love this move by Denver. I love this move by Seattle, because what this is both teams acknowledging what they are. Denver is acknowledging that they are a team that is a quarterback away from being a true contender. So what do? They go get the quarterback, Wilson. Seattle realizes, hey, we're old. We're banged up all year. We don't have a first-round draft pick. We're a rebuilding team. So they acknowledge that they need to rebuild. So I really love this. I love this trade for both sides. I mean, this is very, very similar to the Lions-Rams, except for the Matthew Stafford trade, except for the fact that the Lions were never the Seahawks. They never had that much success, right? So when it comes down to it, great trade for both sides. Enough said there, at least for now, until we get some more news. And who knows what else is going to break in the next few days. And we haven't even started the new league year. Already some crazy blockbusters. And here's another one. Happened a couple hours ago. Aaron Rodgers, 4 years, $200 million. Perfect. Today was a perfect day for Aaron Rodgers. 3 things. Obviously, he signed that mega extension to make him the highest paid player in NFL history, right? Second thing is his favorite receiver, Davante Adams, is coming back on at least a franchise tag. You love to see that if you're Aaron Rodgers too. And then Russell Wilson is now out of the NFC. Again, Rodgers is smart. I predicted this a long time ago. I predicted that Rodgers would stay in Green Bay. I've been saying that all year long. I said, Aaron Rodgers is an intellectual. Do you want to leave and go to Denver and play Mahomes, Carr, and Herbert twice a year? Do you want to go to Pittsburgh with a really bad offensive line and play Joe Burrow and Lamar twice a year? Or do you want to stay in Green Bay and play the Bears, Lions, and Kirk Cousins twice a year? It's a no-brainer. And this isn't the best roster in the league, but it's close to it. They're going to have to make 1 or 2 cuts in order to keep Rodgers and Davante. But with the cap going up $22 million this year, I don't think it's going to be as big of an issue as people speculate. But Russell Wilson's out of the NFC. Who's there to stop Aaron Rodgers? I mean, obviously, he's been horrible in the playoffs over the past few years in terms of getting it done when it counts. But, Matthew Stafford, young Kyler Murray, who's never won a playoff game, Dax won a playoff game. There's no true competition when it comes to quarterbacks to competing with Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers has no excuses now. I mean, look at the AFC. It's Mahomes, it's Joe Burrow, it's Josh Allen, it's now Russell Wilson, it's Justin Herbert, it's Derek Carr. In the NFC, it's Rodgers, Stafford, Kyler, and Dak. The AFC is so much better at quarterback now. That's why Rodgers stayed. He's in a much better position to succeed in Green Bay opposed to Denver or Pittsburgh. It's that simple. It's that simple. Aaron Rodgers made the right choice here. Davante Adams is coming back. If they can get a true wide receiver too. Robert Tonyan, his tight end, who became one of his favorite targets, he's coming back next season. David Bakhtiari, the left tackle, he's going to return. He missed pretty much all of this last season. Only played 1 game. The offensive line will be better. The defense should be about the same. Jair Alexander, who missed a lot of last season, he'll be healthy. This is still a Super Bowl roster. Don't get it messed up. It's that simple. Aaron Rodgers needed to stay in Green Bay if he wanted to have a chance. I mean, it's like, do you want to play Alabama twice a year to win it all? Or do you have to go through Oregon and Stanford and the West Coast in college football terms? It's a no-brainer for Rodgers. This was the obvious choice, and I've been saying that for a long time. The tensions were high. Now they won't be. I guarantee you, after today, there will be no more Aaron Rodgers drama. They'll ship Jordan Love somewhere, or I don't know what they'll do with him. But it sucks for Jordan Love, by the way. I mean, he never really got a chance, and he won't. I mean, they're not going to keep Jordan Love because Aaron Rodgers on a 4-year deal now. What are they going to do? Start Jordan Love when he's in year 7? No. They're going to ship him somewhere else. But this was the best choice for Rodgers. They love you in Green Bay, for the most part. Green Bay's a small town. You can go and hide like he likes to do. hide from the media when you cause a storm with the vaccine. It's just how it is. It's a perfect fit for Rodgers. It has been. And talent-wise, it's the best it's going to get for Aaron Rodgers. Go to Pittsburgh, play with a bad O-line in a good division. Go to Denver. It may be the best division in football now. Or go to Green Bay. Stay in Green Bay. Play Kirk Cousins, Justin Fields, and Jared Goff. You tell me. It's the obvious choice.